So here's the cylinder unit there with the seized conrod in it. Still working, piston seized. Still working on getting the piston out. I haven't tried pounding on it or anything, but I had two seized exhaust valves in this one, and I've managed to get both of them out. I'll just show you what I did there. Now I hit everything with penetrating oil for the last week or so, and last night same thing. Made sure they're all soaking good in penetrating oil, and then have a copper rod here that I found at the scrapyard. It's about 3/8 inch diameter. Basically, I undid the valve springs. Luckily, this small engine compressor just barely fit. It just fit it there, and but it's kind of weak, so I gave the gave it a little tap there with a hammer and the copper rod, and that broke the keepers loose. So then I compressed the spring more with the compressor, and then removed the springs, and then just put my copper rod on the end there, and I just got there's a ball peen hammer here. The handle's broke, so I welded a piece of 1/2 inch pipe on, but just give it some gentle hits, and it didn't take much. It started to move. The other one here in the seized cylinder, it was a little bit tougher. It took a few more taps, and then it seized again after it moved about 1/2 inch up. So I gently tapped the head of the valve and got it back down all the way. It seemed to like to close fairly easily. Then lubricated it all with penetrating oil, and just drove it back and forth, and I hit it with a little bit of, say, 500 grit sandpaper, the valve here, and so you can see now it moves nice and freely. This other one isn't quite as free yet, but I haven't sanded it down. They must be a really tight fit, probably due to the fact it's air-cooled engine, and maybe just due to expansion rates and all that, they have to be tight. So the valves, from what I've read on the internet, they like to seize when the engine sits. So yeah, they must be a tighter fit than what they're running these days, or I don't know, but they seize up anyway. So I'll just set the camera down here for 1 second. Flip the cylinder up. Show you what I'm working on here. So I scraped the rust out of the cylinder as best I could. I just used a screwdriver, actually. I got this really small screwdriver, and scraped it, and it actually cleaned up pretty good. Now I haven't touched the top surface there. That's still all rusty, and then I left it overnight with penetrating oil. Originally I wanted to put the cylinder head back on and pressurize it to about 5 pounds with compressed air to try to force the penetrating oil past the piston rings, but then I came to the conclusion that I had to fix the valves first, because you can't build pressure in the cylinder unless it's completely closed. So that's why I had to do the valves. So I'll lap all the valves to make sure they'll seal, and probably hit this guy with some compressed air. I'll have to build an adapter out of a spark plug. And these ones are a big spark plug thread. Build an adapter to hook up to compressed air, so I'll just put some penetrating oil in there, and maybe 1/4 inch deep or something, and just hit it with a couple, 3 to 5 pounds of compressed air there, and just let her sit for a day or so, and we'll see if it starts dripping out the bottom. I hear that a couple pounds of air is all you really need to do that, so that's what I'll do. Well, I was able to get the seized piston out relatively easily, actually. I just had the cylinder sitting up right there, and had penetrating oil sitting on it all day, and as well as in the bottom. The piston's got a slot in it there, so I was able to put penetrating oil right up there, so I knew it was getting close to the rings. And the bottom 2 rings are loose, and the top 2 are seized in the piston, so that's what was holding it, that and corrosion at the top there. But there's the cylinder bore there. I haven't cleaned it up, but I think that's just it's not just light rust. Definitely do more than hang your fingernail up on that. But anyways, good to have the remaining piston out finally. So see if I can get some decent video of it there. Like I say, the top two rings are seized in for sure. Guess I'll be soaking it in a big jar to loosen them up. I just put it right in penetrating oil. Got a big jar or a tin can or something, and fill it right up to about here. And after a while, she'll be good to go. So I'm glad I was able to make this good of progress on it. Still, see, I still got lots of work. The exhaust port there is all rusty, and lots of cleanup work, and I'd like to fix that